Hello and welcome back for another duet. Go ahead and open your blue book and turn here to page 13. And we are going to look at the duet down here with the number 2 beside it. So page 13, number 2, go ahead and open your book. And here's a closer look at this duet. So first things first, I, as your teacher, will play these top 2 lines, and you will play the bottom 2 lines. That P right there stands for pupil, which is another word for student. This duet is more than 1 line long, so I'll play these 2 lines, and you once again will play the 2 lines below where I play. So before we go on and talk through this entire duet, I want you to look at this duet, look through the notes and anything else you see and observe, and ask yourself any questions. Now, if you look at your part and you can figure it out and you can play it, by all means, then go ahead and skip through to the end or use the link below this video to play the duet with me. Otherwise, if you do have a few questions, let's talk through it all. So first things first, why don't you pause the video, look through the duet, ask yourself some questions, and just take a look and see what you see. Okay, hopefully you had a few questions that I'll be able to answer in the coming minutes as we discuss this duet. So first of all, let's talk about the order of measures that you will play since this duet is more than 1 line. So you'll start here with this note and progress through this line. And then you'll go down here to the second line of notes where you'll progress here to the end. And then we see this dark line with another skinny line next to it here at the very end of the duet. This is called a double bar line. And a double bar line tells us that we have reached the end of our song. Okay, let's just look at your 2 lines of music. So first things first, we have to figure out what notes you're going to play. So let's look at our clef. And this might look a little strange. What do we have here? We have 2 F clefs, right? So even though they're both F clefs, your right hand is going to play the top line and your left hand is going to play the bottom line. And we've learned a long time ago that these clefs tell us which notes to play because those clefs tell us one of the lines of music. And if we know one of the lines, we know we can figure out the rest of the lines. So let's look here at this first note. Why don't you take a few seconds. What is that first note, knowing that now that note is on an F clef staff? So what is that first note? That first note is C for your right hand. Let's look at this note for your left hand. The strange thing about this note is it's down below the staff. So what does that mean? Well, if you can see, there are lines that have continued down below the staff. So basically, the composer of this duet ran out of lines on the staff, so he put a note, added some lines below the staff, and added a note. These are called ledger lines, and they simply work just like the staff lines. The lines go from a third to a third, so in between every line is an interval of a third. So knowing that, can you figure out this note for your left hand? So in case it was tricky, we know where low G is on the bottom line of the staff, right? Then we see another little line, which we call a ledger line, which would be a third below G, which would be E. And then that note sits on another line, which would be another third down, which would be C. So once again, as you progress through this duet, you're going to find that every single one of these notes is the same note for your right hand as it is for your left hand. Okay? So you really only need to look at the notes for your right hand because you know that they're going to be the same for your left hand. So you can just watch one of the lines of notes as you play. Okay, so let's determine on the piano, where do our hands go? So here's a picture of a piano, and here's middle C, just for reference here. And we've already decided that these other two notes are C as well. So your right hand will play on this C, one octave below middle C, and your left hand will continue on down the piano on another C. Okay? So let's clear all that up. And we also have to look at our fingerings. These are the little numbers next to the notes, and these might be a little hard to see on my screen, but it tells us that our right hand, our second finger is on C, and for our left hand, our fourth finger is on C. So just a reminder here, for your left hand, this is your fourth finger. That will go on that low C. And here's your right hand and your second finger. Okay? So let's also look at how many pulses does each note get. Every single note in this duet gets the same amount of pulses. Okay? Each of these notes is a 4-pulse note. So I want you now to take your book to the piano. I want you to pause this video and I want you to try playing this on the piano. If you have a metronome, that's even better. Go ahead and turn your metronome to about the time of 60 and try playing it with your metronome. After you're done trying to play this, then go ahead and try playing it with the accompaniment or with the part that I play for the duet. So go ahead and pause this video and give this duet a try. Okay, welcome back. Is this what it sounded like when you played your part on the piano? So hopefully what you played was something close to that. If it wasn't too easy, then try again. Keep practicing a little bit, and I think it will get easier as you go. So here's a recording of the accompaniment, just so you can hear it. So here's my part that I will play with you. And I'm going to count it off with 4 ticks of the metronome again, but I also want you to take note that you start playing your part 1 beat before I start playing my part. So after 4 ticks of the metronome is when you start playing. So that was my part. And as you continue trying to play your part with a recording of my part, this is what it will eventually sound like.